Pablo Estay biography. He was born on March 10th, 1997. He lived with his family in Santiago and he is in college studying journalism. Since he was 1 year old, he realized that he loves sport, especially football and motorsport. Formula One specifically, his mother always said to him that he woke up early in the morning just to see the race on the TV. He's been watching race since 1998, watching the legendary Ferrari of Michael Schumacher winning almost all the time. So when the Kaiser retired from the competition in 2006, he was a little disappointed and sad because his idol was gone from competition. So he stopped watching the race and started to just follow the season. Instead, for like the next 3 years, there was an event that changed his perception of football, the FIFA World Cup of Germany '06, and he started to love football alongside F1. Since that year, he started to follow her dream, become the first Chilean Formula One champion in history and drive for Ferrari. His professional career started on F2 in 2017, and at the last race in Brazil, the Haas F1 team offered him a 2 year contract to drive for them, alongside Mick Schumacher. Michael's son. They became very good teammates on track and better friends outside the track. So after those 2 years, he moved to Renault, where he raced alongside on the best drivers ever seen. Fernando Alonso, the Spaniard, was the man who won the 2006 championship, 2006 championship against Schumacher. With Fernando in Renault, they had an extraordinary season in 2020, finishing second in the Constructors' Championship, and Fernando and Pablo were able to even win a couple of races. He won in France and Spain, and he made it to win the Grand Prix of Belgium. Next year is gonna be his best year. In 2021, he secured a seat in Ferrari, his dream car, his dream team. So the season started. The teams that has more chance were Red Bull with Verstappen and Checo Perez, two of the best drivers in the grid. Lewis Hamilton Mercedes, the 7th world champion, his ex-teammate Fernando, who increased that level of the car on a very competitive way, and my teammate Charles Leclerc, and Pablo, who have like the third better car in the grid. At the end of the season, he was fighting for the title in Abu Dhabi with chance of becoming world champion if he overtakes the 4 cars. Ahead, the 4 rivals for the title, Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, and Leclerc. Pablo was with new tires, and the chart he made was legendary. He overtook the cars and won the race, becoming the first ever Chilean to win the Drivers' Championship and the first Ferrari champion since Raikkonen in 2007. Since then, his career has just gotten better. Pablo won a lot of races in the next few years and 4 more Formula One championship with Ferrari. He even won the 24 hours of Le Mans in the Ferrari return to the WEC in 2024. His last year in F1, he spent it in Alfa Romeo, challenging himself to increase the team and make it to the top, a goal that he achieved. When he retired in 2030, he started to study to be coach of football, and that's what he is doing now, making his way to be the manager of the Chilean national team in the World Cup of Football in 2034.
Vicente Hernandez biography. Vicente was born in Santiago, Chile. He studied at the Amando Labarca Lyceum and did his higher studies at the Mayor University. After getting his diploma as a journalist, Vicente studied to be a soccer coach at INAF in Chile. He began his career as a coach in the Mayor University team and was later signed by Provincial Ovalle, team to which he rose to the first B. He became coach of Coquimbo, where his good performance led him to be signed by Colo-Colo, a team where he was champion many times and won a Copa Libertadores for the club, the second in the history of the club. After his successful time in Colo-Colo and being awarded as the best coach in America, Vicente is signed by Nottingham Forest in England, a club with which he had many good performances, even returning to him to play in the Champions League, reaching the quarterfinals. He spent 3 years in the club without achieving any championship, but leading a good game, which earned him to be signed by Milan from Italy, a team that returned to the Champions League to be a Champions League champion after many years without winning it. At Milan, he won 3 leagues, 2 Champions League, 2 Italian Cups, and 4 Super Cups in a period of 7 years. All those titles earned him a transfer to Liverpool, where he could not be as successful, and then 3 years later he left the club with a Champions League final played and one FA Cup won. After his regular spell with the English team, he took on the campaign of coaching Real Madrid, the most successful team in football history, with which he won 2 Champions League in a row, 3 Spanish leagues, 3 Spanish Cups, and 1 Spanish Super Cup in a period of 4 years. After resigning from Real Madrid and at the age of 62, he assumed the bench of the Chilean national team for the World Cup qualifiers, where he qualified second behind Brazil and achieved Chile's first historic victory on Argentina's land. In the World Cup, he was eliminated in the quarterfinal by France, but his good game led him to be champion of American Cup for the 3rd time in the country's history. Currently, he's 66 years old, and he is retired and works for TNT Sports as a panelist of the historic program Todos Somos Técnicos, and is recognized as the best coach in the history of Chile, and throughout his career, he has been awarded many times.